Communication is a funny thing. We communicate with other people on a daily basis, and the goal of that communication is always the same: to feel valued and understood. The challenge is that we may not have the same communication style as the person that we're talking with. This means that even though we may be speaking the same language, the way that we give and receive information might be completely opposite. In fact, nothing is more frustrating than having a conversation with someone who just doesn't seem to understand what you're trying to communicate. Often, as you get to know someone, over time, you begin to understand how to communicate with that person better. But what do you do when you meet somebody for the first time? The faster that you learn how to identify other communication styles and adapt, the more effective you're going to be as a communicator. As a personal trainer, I've had a lot of experience with this. The first time that I meet a client, it's my job to understand more about who they are as a person, their goals, and their background, so that I can create a program that fits their needs. If I can't quickly identify and adapt to their communication style, it's going to be very challenging for me to make it through that consultation and reach these goals. Over the years, these sessions have given me a ton of practice of learning how to identify and adapt to different communication styles. And today, I'd like to share with you how I've been able to identify these styles and how I adapt along the way. There are 4 different communication styles: analytical, direct, initiating, and supportive. The analytical communicator is precise and logical. When this communicator comes into the session, generally they might be the type of person who would take notes. You can tell that they're really paying attention to the details, all of the facts and the figures, and they're often going to have lots of questions about the process and the program. This tips me off right away that I have an analytical communicator in front of me. What I know now is that I need to be really logical and organized in how I present the material. I also need to give them plenty of space to ask questions. So if I review a form with them, I need to make sure that they have time to ask any questions that they may have, because I know that they really value understanding information. And I also know that this person, because they're listening and absorbing and processing information, they're not really going to readily give me information about themselves. So I'm going to have to be intentional about asking questions. Otherwise, I might not get that information. Now, the direct communicator is decisive and to the point. I can spot this communicator from a mile away. They come marching into the studio, and before their butt even hits the seat, they're already listing out all of their goals, expectations, when they want to reach their goals, and they are right to the point. When I was a young trainer, I found this communication style really, really intimidating. And it was a little bit off-putting, if I'm honest, because I always felt like they were in a hurry, ready to get on to the next thing. And I thought, they don't like me. But what I didn't realize is that they're just used to getting to the point and getting things done. Now, when I recognize that this is the type of communicator that is sitting right in front of me, I know that I need to narrow down the information that I'm going through to exactly what this person needs to know. No more, no less. Because I need to get to know the person a little bit better, I need to set them up a little bit by letting them know that there's a point to me asking personal questions, because they ain't got no time for chit chat. As long as they know there's a reason behind me asking them questions about their lifestyle and their hobbies, they're going to be more than welcome to share that information. The initiating communicator is your social butterfly. When this person walks in the studio, you're going to know their entire life story within the first 5 minutes that you meet them. And they are a lot of fun. They are warm, engaging, and they really value relationships. What I know about this style of communication is that I need to give them space to share their story and be willing to share some of my story as well, because they're going to want to learn more about me. The unique challenge that I have with this communicator is that I've got to make sure that I stay on task. We can get so lost in getting to know one another that I might forget all of the tasks that I have to accomplish during my consultation. So I kind of have to stay on task when I have an initiating communicator. Finally, the supportive communicator is often steady and calm. I can usually identify this style from the moment I open the door to the studio to welcome them in. They're going to be a little bit more quiet, a little bit more shy, reserved, and they're just going to be kind of looking around and observing, listening to everything that I say. As soon as I realize that I have a supportive communicator, I know that I need to make them feel as welcome as possible. This style of communicator doesn't generally like a lot of change, so the faster I can make them feel at home and comfortable, the more they're going to open up and be willing to share information with me. Because they're such good listeners and they really need to feel more comfortable before they're ready for change, I have to be super intentional with asking questions about them, asking questions about what I want to know. Otherwise, they're not going to just open up and share that information with me. When you take the time to learn how to communicate with each of the different communication styles, you will help that person to feel valued and understood. I think that Maya Angelou says it best when she says, at the end of the day, people won't remember what you said, what you did. They will remember how you made them feel. Take the time to learn how to communicate effectively with each of the different styles. By doing so, you will help that person to feel valued and understood, a feeling that's sure to last. Thank you.